We're at Soldiers Field Soccer Stadium in Boston, Mass, on the campus of Harvard University. It's a U.S. Open Cup fourth round between the New England Revolution and Charlotte. Independent. So glad you could join us for this live webcast. Brett Feldman alongside Paul Mariner for commentary. Jesse Cofield will join us as well. Great to be back here at Harvard. It's a cliche, the magic of knockout cup competition, but you've experienced that magic. You won this tournament as a coach with the Reds back in 2007, and you won it as a player in the storied FA Cup in England with Ipswich Town.
Well, I must say that I love the romance of the FA Cup. I love the romance of the US Open Cup. I think it's something different. It gives players who have not been playing regularly
We're at Soldiers Field Soccer Stadium in Boston, Mass. On the campus of Harvard University. It's a U.S. Open Cup fourth round between the New England Revolution and Charlotte Independence. So glad you could join us for this live webcast. Brett Feldman alongside Paul Mariner for commentary. Jesse Cofield will join us as well. Great to be back here at Harvard. It's a cliche, the magic of knockout cup competition, but you've experienced that magic. You won this tournament as a coach with the Reds back in 2007, and you won it as a player in the storied FA Cup in England with Ipswich Town.
Well, I must say that I love the romance of the FA Cup. I love the romance of the US Open Cup. I think it's something different. It gives players who have not been playing regularly a chance to get in front of the coach.
And it also gives some players in the lower divisions who maybe have a chip on their shoulder or a way back into the upper divisions of the game a chance to showcase themselves. You've got 12 guys by our count on the Charlotte squad who have MLS connections but aren't playing in Major League Soccer now.
Well, you're absolutely right, Brad. I mean, these players have got a point to prove. They want to try and get back into the MLS, and there's no reason why they shouldn't do. They've got to put in a performance tonight, so this is not going to be an easy game for the Revolution tonight.
Yeah, another factor is the experience that Charlotte has. Jorge Herrera and Tomasz Zahorski, foreigners who have experience in these games. But on the Rev side of the ball, you have some players who haven't gotten a chance to get a run out, and they want to prove themselves as well.
Well, yeah, there's a few things are going on. Fagundes played very well at the weekend. Can he keep that form going? Kobayashi's coming back into the side. Can he get back his fitness? So it's going to test the squad depth of the New England Revolution. It's going to put the players in front of Jay Heaps in a meaningful game. All
right, so what are the keys for Jay Heaps' team tonight here against a hungry Charlotte?
Yeah, well, number one, they've got to come out fast. They just can't amble out of the blocks. It's so important. And I always feel that if you're playing a lower division side, it's best if you put them under pressure, because generally players with lesser technical ability sort of crumble when you get right in the face. And I think it's all about attitude for the New England Revolution. If they come out with the wrong attitude tonight, they might be in trouble.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. The Revolution first. Brad Knighton gets the look in goal tonight. Left to right across the back for the Revs. Kevin Alston. Donnie Smith in the central defensive position next to London Woodbury. Jeremy Hall's the right back. Two holding midfielders, Tyler Rudy, who's been playing very well for Rochester in the USL, with Steve Newman. Daigo Kobayashi in front of them is the number 10. Wide left, Diego Fagundes wide right. Kellen Rowe's been great in the Open Cup in the past. And Sean Okoli starts up top.
Well, I think it's important that the players get in the good graces of the coach, because, as I've said, it's all about attitude, and the coach will be looking very, very closely at the players tonight.
For visiting Charlotte, Hunter Gilstrap just called in from Carolina on loan. He's the goalkeeper. Left to right across the back in a 4-2-3-1. Patrick Slogic, Machak Jerome, Bilal Duckett, and Ben Noonan. The holding midfielder, Andrew Ribeiro, next to former Rev Paulo Di Piccolo, who's a little bit in front of him perhaps. The attacking midfielder, Jorge Herrera, wide left. Carlos Alvarez wide right, Alex Martinez, and Tomasz Zahorski, the Poland international striker, is the point forward.
Well, I think they play a little bit cautious early on. They're definitely not going to get in a track meet tonight with the New England Revolution, so they'll be a little bit cautious at the first 10 minutes or so, and then they'll come out of the shell.
All right, stay right there. The opening kickoff here at Soldiers Field at Harvard University, just moments away. Just about set for kickoff here at Soldiers Field Soccer Stadium in Boston, Mass, just across from Cambridge. The Harvard University Athletic Complex. It's the U.S. Open Cup fourth round. The New England Revolution hosting the Charlotte Independence. Brad Feldman, Paul Mariner with you as you see Jay Heaps, who won this competition as a player in 2007. Brad Knighton making his fifth U.S. Open Cup start. Gets the nod tonight in goal. He's been looking for games. Actually went and played for the Richmond Kickers a little over a week ago against the Charleston Battery, but he's between the sticks tonight for the Revs. You can see it will be Charlotte, who are a brand new team. They took over the USL slot for Charlotte from the Charlotte Eagles, who dropped down a division. The Revs in all blue tonight. And there you see Steve Newman and Tyler Rudy. And those are big nights for two central midfielders in different ways, Paul.
Well, absolutely. The thing for me is that they just got to get it's simple. Just play simple, and then Jay Heaps can just judge what they are capable of.
In USL Pro, Charlotte are in 9th place in the Eastern Conference with a 3-3-4 record, 19th in the overall league table out of 24. You can see the fans in the fort, the Riders of Rebellion, the hardcore supporters made the trek here. Many of them walked to the game. And as we said in the opening segment, at least 12 of these Charlotte players have been with an MLS team at some level. Some, like Paulo Del Piccolo, who's with the Revs, didn't actually feature in a game. Some of them were youth products. Then you have well-traveled, experienced foreigners, Jorge Herrera and Tomasz Zahorsky. So this is not a bad team at all. They're coached by Mike Jeffries, the former Dallas Burn head coach in Major League Soccer, also 3 stints with Chicago Fire organization. It will be the Revolution in navy blue attacking from left to right, and we are underway. Tyler Rudy, he plays Donnie Smith, who's missed much of the season with injury, and he's not usually a center back. He curls this forward, headed back the other way by the former Rev Bilal Duckett. And an early foul whistled against Kevin Alston, who's made 10 appearances in the league for the Revs, including 6 starts. Angled forward, and the offside flag goes up. It was Alex Martinez, who's the younger brother of Enzo Martinez, who's on the bench for the Independents. The Revolution and the Independents, very patriotic matchup here. They're making a big deal of that down in Charlotte. But, the Revs PR department want to know if that made you uncomfortable as an Englishman, Paul, that we're sort of rubbing our victory 225 years ago in your nose, you know?
Didn't make me uncomfortable at all, no.
You've lived in Boston long enough that you know. Long by Knighton, over the head of Kobayashi, and Meshack Jerome lets it roll all the way through to Hunter Gilstrap. Jerome, Haiti international, formerly with Montreal Impact, Sporting Kansas City, where he got some games, and also Orlando City. All the MLS sides won against lower division opponents last night in the 4th round of the Open Cup. Goes back to Jerome, and all the way back to Gilstrap, who made 7 starts for the Carolina Railhawks in the NASL, who are ostensibly a higher division team, but that's exactly the side that Charlotte knocked out in the 3rd round to advance to this stage, the 1-0 victory. So USL Pro and NASL, depending on which teams you're talking about, pretty evenly matched. This is off of Sean Okoli, center forward. Fagundes gets a foot in. Now Martinez slides it forward. They're going to play through Herrera a lot. Alex Martinez. Now wide for Slogic, 6 feet 6 inches tall, but he likes to overlap. This is Carlos Alvarez, the former Colorado Rapid, trying to split the defense, but it goes all the way through to Knighton.
Oh, it's good covering there from Donnie Smith, just in the right spot there, up against the big man. It's a Zahorsky making the run.
Smith for Alston. Alston's delivery, looking for a Coley. Jerome athletically gets it out to midfield, taken down by Steve Newman. Second-year man out of Georgetown, rolls it for Jeremy Hall. But one very good performance in the league for Jay Heaps, but then since he emerged from London Woodbury, he hasn't featured in the starting team, so this is a big opportunity for Jeremy Hall. Now Smith. Fagundes, heavy touch, moves it quickly for Rudy. Wide again for Alston. Shadowed by Alvarez, who's on the right side. Newman. Now Hall. Rowe with 6 U.S. Open Cup goals, including 2 here when the Revs defeated New York Red Bulls in 2013, 4-2. Revs win it back in the middle third right away. Taken over by Alvarez. It'll be a New England throw. So some scrappy passages of play as the teams feel each other out here in the opening minutes.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Brad. I was talking to the coaching staff before from Charlotte, and they were saying they're going to play a 4-2-3-1, but out of positions they most definitely go 4-4-1-1 because the Piccolo is just underneath Zahorsky, just in between the 2 lines. Revolution playing the normal 4-2-3-1 system.
But Del Piccolo, by trade, kind of a number 8, a tweener. It will be interesting to see how much defending Jorge Herrera does. He's great on the ball. He's on it now. Looking for some support. Makes the possession pass. This is Zahorski. But a hat trick in the second round in this tournament. Now Slogic gets a cross in deflected, but well played by Brad Knighton. Kellen Rowe, early ball. Jerome right there. This is Slogic, the former Cornell Big Red man. Andrew Ribeiro moves it. Alvarez, who was with Chivas USA before Colorado. And of course played at University of Connecticut. This is Woodbury playing as a center back. That's where he played in college. Martinez takes the bump. The referee tonight, Marquette Lesick, says no foul. Daigo Kobayashi, such a good passer, into space for Rowe. On halfway, sees 3 white-shirted players there, goes back to Hall.
Kobayashi just played in that advanced role, in the what is termed as the Lee Win role now, just underneath that striker, Okoli.
Newman sprays it long for Gundez. He'll give and go with Kobayashi. Keeps his feet hammered clear by Duckett. Duckett's one first-team appearance for the Revs was a very good one. It was that 0-0 draw at Portland a couple of years ago. He also has MLS experience, Duckett does, with Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Donnie Smith, with those quick feet so far, looking comfortable in the center back role, though he's only about 5'9", not the normal stature of a professional level central defender. Ribeiro now for Jerome. Slogic is a Colorado Rapids youth product. Now Zahorski, Del Piccolo. Martinez, laid off by Herrera. Good ball movement by the visitors. Cross there by Ben Noonan, the right back. Cleared by Smith. The Revolution, as we said earlier, won this tournament in 2007. They also were in the final, losing in extra time to the LA Galaxy in 2001. This is the 18th time the Revolution have faced a non-Major League Soccer team in the Open Cup, and they are 10-3-4 in the previous 17 matches against non-MLS clubs. Upsets do happen. Alston's ball taken over by Noonan. Del Piccolo gives it back to him.
It looks like, to your point, Brad, it looks as though Herrera has been given a free roll. Crunching challenge though coming in.
It was Alvarez.
Ball was played in there, originally Kobayashi. Very, very late challenge there by Alvarez. I'd be surprised if the referee doesn't put him in the book for that.
Well, we saw a complete meltdown with the refereeing situation last night in the Seattle-Portland game that went to extra time. Sounders FC, of course, finishing that game with just 7 men. Obafemi Martin's going off injured. 3 red cards, including a very loud red card by Clint Dempsey, who will likely face further disciplinary action.
Well, I texted my old mate, Mr. Dempsey, today. I said he was a very naughty boy.
Rose delivery, that's a tester, and Duckett did well with it off of the artificial surface.
It was a great ball in, fantastic ball in. Defended very, very well indeed. He couldn't really do much more than that.
Newman will take the corner kick. He has 1 prior goal and 1 prior assist in the Open Cup, both in last season's Revs 4th round 3-2 win against the Richmond Kickers. Right-footed delivery. Gilstrap rises to make the catch.
It's always interesting how coaches match up there on set pieces. Man on the near post, nobody on the far post, going man for man in zonal in the 6-yard box.
Mike Jeffries, first year in this role. First year, as I said, the team's been in existence. He left MLS to become the head coach of the Des Moines Menace, one of the better funded PDL sides, as Donnie Smith gets away with that under pressure from Alex Martinez. Martinez was at Sporting Kansas City in Major League Soccer last season. He also played with the Orange County and Carolina USL units. Headed by Jerome, back the other way by Newman.
Both
on
teams
the right
switching it
side
around.
settles.
Both teams switching it around here. Brad, both sets of coaches have decided to switch wings with the wide guys. Fagundes on the right hand side, Rogue on to the left. Similar for Mike Jeffries, Alvarez on the left hand side, and Martinez on the right. There's a lot going on at there.
Zahorsky puts a little nudge there from Alston. Smith finds Kobayashi. So skillful, the Japanese midfielder Daigo Kobayashi. Some of the best passes we've seen in the Jay Heaps era came off of Kobayashi last season.
Yeah, he's a very, very good player. He's very quiet. You very rarely notice him, but he's very effective.
Coley there loses out. He's made 5 substitute appearances in the league so far. Sean McCauley, acquired on draft day from Seattle by the Revs. He's been included in the 18-man squad for every game in MLS this year, as the whistle goes in favor of the Charlotte Independents.
Well, the caller can see what the benchmark now is to get to that Revolution side. It's Charlie Davis. Charlie probably playing the best football he's played for quite some time.
To get here, the Charlotte Independents beat Upward Stars FC of the NPSL 4-1 in the second round. That was the game that Zahorsky scored the hat trick in. And then they defeated the Carolina Railhawks, as I said, and it was Ryan Finley who scored the lone goal in that game. Finley on the bench, available as a sub for Mike Jeffries as Knighton climbs to catch. Punts long, looking for Fagundes. Just missed his target as Jerome did well.
Yeah, he did. Very calm defending. Soft cushion header back to the keeper.
Talking about the emergency goalkeeping situation for the Independents, John Bernard is out as Rowe gets forward quickly off of the throw-in. Bernard with a cheekbone injury. He was on loan from Colorado. And then Restrepo, their other goalkeeper, just returned to his native Venezuela. So they've been playing the musical chairs in goal lately. Second corner for the Revs, Newman again to take. Looks like the Revs want a faster tempo than Charlotte right now, Paul.
Yeah, Charlotte have surprised me a little bit. They're a very, very technical team, like to get the ball down and play.
Delivery in the near post. Rudy side foots a volley wide. Good atmosphere on the banks of the Charles River.
Yeah, it's great. I remember we were talking before the game. It was 2 years ago since we did the New York game together when Kellen Rowe was absolutely on fire that night. I was shocked when you told me it was 2 years ago. I thought it was last year.
It's just that much fun working with me, Paul. Time flies. Rudy now moves it for Newman. Taken over by Ribeiro. Herrera now has it taken off of him by the very active Tyler Rudy. Duckett sends it all the way back to the goalkeeper, which gives me an opportunity to remind you to follow U.S. Soccer's coverage of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup on Twitter at Open Cup and at ussoccer.com.
Fantastic hold-up play by Martinez there, Brad.
Martinez again, one of these players with MLS experience. Mike Jeffries has done a good recruiting job. Not necessarily the names that you would expect, but he's taken a few of the Chivas USA players who had been sprung free with the folding of that organization. They have an affiliation with the Colorado Rapids. They've taken advantage of that. And the likes of Bill Duckett and Patrick Slogic, smart signings.
Well, yeah, we're close to 15 minutes into the game now, and the Independents have shown us both sides of the game. They can get it down and they can pass it, and they can also go long. There's a classic there, Duckett launching the ball going forward there to Martinez. Tremendous hold-up play.
Duckett with the big switching ball. Taken down by Alvarez. Calmly to the overlapping Slogic. Herrera. Perez compressed the space and clear. But that was pretty slick, quick build-up play down the left.
Well, again, it's a big switch ball. I mean, they're get their head up. If you don't close people down, like I said, they can play. They're trying that switch ball on a number of occasions.
Well, Duckett played as a fullback for Jay Heaps when he was with the Revs, but then was loaned out to Rochester. I think he's one of those guys who, like London Woodbury, he's just waiting for a chance where he gets a run of games with an MLS team. But good closing down there by Newman. And here are the Revs. Fagundes in the area against Jerome, cuts it back against the grain and earns a third corner for the Revs. It was the high pressure that nearly paid dividends for New England.
Yeah, it's very good movement. Fagundes getting inside the inside right channel. Kobayashi wanted it digged to the far post. He was wide open. I think Diego was trying to cut it back to Okoli. He was making a late run coming into that box.
Fagundes to take from the right side, goes short to Smith. Left-footed delivery. Run down by Alston. Del Piccolo all over him. It will be a goal kick. Some other scores. Columbus leads Richmond 2-1 in Open Cup action in the 42nd minute. DC United and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds knotted 1-1 in the 23rd minute. And the New York Cosmos and NYCFC just underway in the Battle of the East River. Also Charleston Orlando underway, 0-0. Newman wins the header. Pounded forward by Jerome. Talking about Heaps and Jeffries, a real Duke University connection here on the benches. Both players starred at Duke 15 years apart. Jeffries and Heaps both won the Herman Trophy for the top college player in the country. And if you go to the athletic complex there, they are both featured on the walls prominently. They're very proud of these two guys at Duke, as they should be. Kobayashi, great job keeping the Revs playing. And Rudy's touch into space may be ill-advised. Taken over by Martinez. Slogic closed down by Rowe. Herrera on the turn, plays Martinez. Woodbury's there, early ball to the back post. Alvarez misconnected. Skimmed off his shoelaces and went over for a throw, but that's great play at full speed by Alex Martinez.
It was fantastic. It was Herrera there. Beautiful little ball. First time inside that left-hand channel in for Martinez. Martinez took the ball down and whipped it right across the face of the goal. It was just a little bit too high for Martinez coming on that, for Alvarez coming on that back stick.
Revs 15-12-4 all time in Open Cup competition. This is Jeremy Hall. Rowe against Slogic. Oh, he spots Okoli. Great weighted ball, but it ran a little long, and in any case, Okoli was just a shoulder offside.
That was very unfortunate. Tremendous vision by Kelly Rowe there. Just rolled out, got the ball off Jeremy Hall, the right back, rolled out, just faded it into that inside right channel.
Hard to tell from that angle whether he's offside or not.
It was a close one when the ball was played.
Hall with the aerial win off of Ribeiro. He had another Chivas USA, I won't say outcast or cast off, because nobody's still with that team. Some would say thankfully. Fagundes, now Rudy.
Fagundes a row, switch sides again. Constant movement. just haven't quite found the rhythm yet, the New England Revolution.
Slogic about a foot taller than Kellen Rowe there. And Newman does well, ranging to win the ball for the Revs, gets it down for Woodbury. Hall under pressure. The Revs playing well out of trouble here. Rowe, Okoli. And finally that move fizzles out, but the Revs advance about 70 yards up the field, some quick passing.
Yeah, it was good. I was in build-up there. I was just looking at what Okoli was doing. He timed his run perfectly, just stayed away from the ball and then came when the timing was right. That's what Jay Heaps wants to see from him.
Rudy, Slogic.
Important game for Jeremy Hall as well, Brad, tonight, playing right back for the Revs.
Del Piccolo, who was on the books with the Revs in 2014 in the preseason, but never featured in the first team game, was let go. He was at Arizona United at the same time as London Woodbury last year. The Revs will start from the back. Another connection for Del Piccolo. He was at University of Louisville at the same time as Andrew Farrell, who is not in uniform for the Revs tonight. Jose Gonçalves, as you saw in the lineups graphic, is available on the bench, but with 3 league games coming up in the next week and a half, Jay Heaps has to be judicious about how he uses some of these players, especially Jermaine Jones, now out 6 to 8 weeks after surgery for a bilateral sports hernia. That's why Donnie Smith is playing center back.
Right. Well, plus it's also a bonus. Kobayashi coming back to full fitness now. Hopefully he'll get as many minutes as he possibly can tonight, because Andy Dorman and Scotty Cole have done a fantastic job in the holding midfield player role. So with Kobayashi coming back to fitness, he can spell those guys if they get a little bit tired.
The round of 16 draw, after all the results for tonight are in, will take place tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and it will be streamed live on U.S. Soccer's website. Hall, now Rowe. Gets clattered by Martinez, keeps going, and plays it off of Slogic.
Kellen looking at the referee there saying, come on, ref.
Well, Martinez was snapping at his heels.
He was snapping a bit. I totally agree.
This duel starting to shape up a little bit. Good closing down by Hall. Zahorski's flick on. Herrera. Woodbury calmly back to Smith. Knighton in his 4 previous Open Cup appearances, a 1.62 goals against average. Duckett's header now. Alston for the Revs. Halfway through this first half, no score here. It's not Cambridge, it's Boston. For years they used to list all games played at Harvard as being in Cambridge, but in fact we're in Allston, Mass, which is part of Boston, Mass. Some of the development going on over here, well, controversial, but also very impressive. You were on the staff here at Harvard. Let's take a look at that last play.
Yeah, it was. I think the referee was just waiting for it to develop. But ball goes into Okoli, and he was just waiting. The referee was right. Foul.
Newman taking most of the set pieces from this side.
All about the service, Brad. We're going to try and fizz it in between the far post and that penalty spot. See if Gilstrap can come up with the goods.
Away by Jerome. It's a whip ball by Newman, but they can't clear the Independents, and the Revs will Try to ram it right down their throats again here. Revs moving the ball very quickly. Newman now. Smith. Maybe not the best decision by Fagundes. And a let off for the Revs as the foul's committed there. Martinez not happy, but he did foul down Smith. Smith with one of those unflaggingly positive attitudes. Great facility here at Harvard. They used to play across the street in the shadow of Harvard Stadium. Well, we're in the shadow of Harvard Stadium here. As Okoli puts in a dangerous ball. Rudy nods it wide. Fagundes tricking his way inside. Play on from the referee as Charlotte look to break here. The Revs getting numbers back. Miscontrolled by Tomasz Zahorsky. And here's Woodbury steering it forward on the dribble.
Well, Zahorsky was trying to be a little bit too clever there for his own good. It was a nice movement. The break was on, but it tried a little flick inside. Didn't quite come off. Little Woodbury came away with the ball.
Sprayed wide by Rudy. Hall picks up the second ball. Rowe, who looks to be playing pretty loose here. Try to get the beating of Slogic there. Rangy left back. Patrick Slogic, but he moves with some fluidity. Hall gets a step. Closed down by Slogic. Over for another Revolution corner kick. And Smith will trot over to take it. Slogic getting a lot of work.
Yeah, well, I must say Hall and Rowe are combining very, very well indeed. Jeremy Hall just pushing it back, using his pace, trying to whip it across the face, resulting in this corner kick.
Fagundes right in front of the goalkeeper. The delivery to the back post. Punched away there by Gilstrap. Revs playing the game in the attacking third of the field right now. Woodbury's delivery. Del Piccolo gets it out to midfield. The Revs get control of it again. Newman. Now Kobayashi from distance. Blocked by Duckett. Now Alex Martinez for the Charlotte Independents. Good tracking back by Fagundes. And collectively the Revs win it back. Newman into space for Okoli. Meshach Jerome. Haiti will, of course, be playing at Gillette Stadium on July the 10th.
It was a pity, Brad, because the ball from Fagundes was excellent. Okoli not on the same page.
Fagundes for Rowe. The keeper's out. Oh, look at that bit of skill. If that had come off, that would have made a lot of newscasts.
That would have been very pretty. That was unbelievable. I mean, you've got to think that his thought process here was fantastic. He made a wonderful run, just managed to keep the ball away from the goalkeeper and just did the foot behind his standing foot. Incredible skill.
It's one that most people try in the gym during the winter in futsal or in the basement or with their mates, but to do it in a professional game, it takes some cheek. And, nearly came off for Kellen. Again, the Revs hunting in packs, win the ball. Kobayashi early for Okoli, who wasn't making the run.
Well, that was unfortunate because Okoli had made the run where the ball was presented to him by Kobayashi. Kobayashi got his head down, and unfortunately Okoli had come to the ball, but he should have been going away from the ball. It was unfortunate.
Rowe back out on the left defending. Sprayed long by Herrera, but he can't get it past Hall. He hooks it forward. Good take there by Kobayashi. Now Diego Fagundes, who scored in 2 of his last 3 games for the Revs. Some pretty impressive goals as well. Double team, try to get around Slogic, but again, the left fullback for Mike Jeffries, Charlotte Independence, does well defending.
Oh, the Revolution on corner kicks have got a lot of tricks in their bag. They play it short. They have a little overload on this short corners. They also have some power on the back stick. So a few options here for Donnie Smith.
Smith's left-footed delivery. He goes to the back post. Slogic there. Newman nearly connected. Now another corner for the Revs. So we're in the 30th minute here at Soldiers Field Soccer Stadium in Boston, Mass. Brad Feldman, Paul Mariner, Jesse Cofield will join us at the halftime interval. Full Revs TV broadcast team with you here. Thanks for tuning in on the Revolution website, YouTube, or wherever you're watching. This is the Revs' first Open Cup match of 2015, third for Charlotte. Delivery to the near post, cleared out to midfield. Revs getting some good balls in off of the corners.
Yeah, but the Independents are very powerful in defence. They've got Zahorsky, they've got Slogic, they're massive players. Jerome, incredibly athletic central defender. Duckett is the same.
Fort belting it out behind Brad Knighton's goal. Most of the game has been played at the opposite end of the field. The Revs now just rolling around with some possession. Hall, Rudy.
McCauley's got to become more active, Brad, in these situations. The players are looking to play the ball into him. He's just making runs in between Duckett and Jerome. He's got to either A, threaten the back, or at least get into the passing lane so he can get the ball to him.
Pressure from Fagundes there on Andrew Ribeiro. In addition to his time with Chivas USA, also played with Harrisburg, the City Islanders, and Pittsburgh Riverhounds in USL. Pittsburgh and DC United are still tied 1-1. They're at halftime in Pittsburgh. Charlotte defeated Pittsburgh 2-1 in their most recent league match. Forward by Duckett. Ribeiro off of Kobayashi. His arm was up and the ball hit him there, so free kick to the Independents.
Well, they've got the aerial threat. On the left, they've got Slogic. On the right-hand side, the centre forward, Zahorsky, pulls wide on Kevin Olsen. So they've got some height in this defence. This is dangerous moments here for the Revs.
Herrera, the most likely candidate to take it. He was the first signing in his newly formed club's history. Spent 8 years with the Charlotte Eagles before that, so he's really an old boy despite this being a new team. You see him wearing the captain's armband. Played with Independiente, Santa Fe, Atletico Nacional, and Millonarios in his native Colombia, among other teams.
Looks like the referee's forgot his phone tonight, Brad. Independents boys are not happy with the distance.
There's the phone. I thought you said he forgot his phone. That was a much
forgot his
nicer
phone
dinner when people don't bring their phones.
The thing is, at set pieces, if you have your phone, use the phone.
Hold the phone.
He was holding the phone.
He's holding it back. Herrera's delivery. Well, that's a good one. I'll tell you what, that's a let off for the Revolution. Zahorsky pretty much wide open there. He's an experienced player. He played in Bundesliga 2 with Duisburg. Also was with San Antonio, the NASL. He should have done better there.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. It was a nice ball in. The service was good. He had a free header. What was he, about 10 yards out? He should have made young Brad Knighton work there, but he didn't do that. Put it over the top of the crossbar.
Impressive leap there by Okoli on the flick-on header. Charlotte cleared out to midfield. The Revs get a hold of it again. Best chance of the game was that slick attempt by Kellen Rowe that just missed. But here comes Charlotte on the attack. Herrera couldn't get in behind Hall. Maybe boxed in here. Jeremy got hit behind the play. It'll be a free kick to the Revs in their own defensive half of the field.
It's a silly foul. I mean, Jeremy Hall was under pressure, didn't have many options. Just let the Revolution out of jail there with that one.
Del Piccolo is actually on the books at Montreal, as well as Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, but he didn't play for the first team of either of those clubs. Slogic now. Martinez fouled there. The Revs didn't like the call, but Martinez has been busy and to some good effect here for Charlotte.
No, I think you can say that about all the independence players. They've been very, very good. This is an excellent first 35 minutes.
Rowe, well, he went all the way in on that, but took some bravery. There is a size differential between Kellen Rowe and Patrick Slogic.
About a foot.
Okoli got underneath Slogic on that. Free kick again to the visitors. 10 minutes plus stoppage time left in this first half. And you can hear Jay Heaps having a word with the referee. Just kick it. Not usually an instruction you hear at this level of the game.
from the opposition coach. He's telling the goalkeeper of the other team to kick it. Jay's not happy with the tempo of this game. He thinks the Revs should be playing at a higher tempo. I agree with him.
Rudy moves it for Fagundes. Taken over now by Duckett. Del Piccolo. Alvarez. Carlos Alvarez, who played at the youth international level for both Mexico and the United States. Duckett switch. Slogic did well. Now Martinez on the turn. Battling against Rudy. Good step by Woodbury. Martinez still going, has sight of goal, takes a shot. Easy save by Brad Knighton, but you got to give credit to Alex Martinez for his perseverance there.
Yeah, absolutely, Brad. He's showed excellent determination, excellent skill.
Hall for Kobayashi, who for Jay Heap's liking has not been involved enough here. Oh, and he took a hard hit there. Paulo Del Piccolo knocking him down.
Here he is. There's Kobayashi using his strength there. The Piccolo coming in. That was a little bit of a naughty challenge. Just going over the top of the ball a little bit there.
Here's Fagundes. Newman. Heavy touch. And he lost it. Herrera timing his tackle well. Now Alvarez. Del Piccolo. Herrera. Martinez. Ribeiro. So Revs get everybody but Okoli back on the goal side of the ball. This is Slogic. Jerome. Smith did just enough there. And Alston goes back to the goalkeeper.
I think Mike Jeffers will be the happier coach of this first half, Brad. His side have been bold. They've got the ball down. They've played the big switch ball. They play to the strengths. Zahorsky has probably the best chance with a free header, but 10 yards out.
All defending well there. He needs a shout. He's double teamed. No foul. Knighton has to clear under some duress, and it looks like Charlotte's timing their opportunities to press very well.
The pressing as a group as well. It's not just individual players that are closing the ball down. Everybody's keying in.
NYCFC has taken a 1-0 lead over the New York Cosmos in New York. 23rd minute as Alston heads it for the Revs. Alston harrying, but Charlotte keep possession. As I say that, Kevin gets a foot to it. Beautiful sunset over the Charles River from our vantage point here. Cambridge and Watertown just on the other side of the river.
Beautiful part of the world, Brad. Great place to live.
Yep, both of us have lived a lot of places, chose to end up here. Zahorsky. It's an interesting idea. The Revs defending in numbers get it back, and it's hooked forward by Newman. Two Georgetown Hoyas in the middle of the park for Jay Heaps right now. Newman and Rudy. As Duckett launches it, looking for Alvarez. Knighton able to claim it. Talk about a guy who keeps a great attitude, Brad Knighton. Can't be easy having to play backup as much as he and Bobby Shuttleworth have a friendship and a great professional relationship. He wants to play. Here's Fagundes. Diego, long shot. Tough angle, long distance.
Yeah, maybe not the right decision though from Diego Fagundes, but he's just testing his skills out a little bit. Thought he maybe could just fizz one into the top corner.
He's been the hot foot for the Revs. He had a great free kick 3 games ago, and then an absolute worldie this past Saturday night against Chicago.
Featured on ESPN FC.
Well, that's the sign that you've made it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Davis made it as well on the top 10. Alejandro Moreno's top 10.
Yeah, for different reasons, for dubious reasons. It was a very good goal that Charlie scored, but it was the...
He did show the goal, but it's when he got caught up in the net.
It was nice for Charlie that you were there to stick up for him.
Absolutely. I stuck up for my mate.
Charlie usually does a dance. This time it was more of a struggle. Let's just leave it at that. He had a good sense.
But he did come out of it with a smile on his
that's
face.
What I'm saying.
He always does that.
And that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And why not? Anybody gives you a hard time, you just point to the score. I just made it 2.
I think Jay will want the tempo to be lifted in the second half, Brad. I don't think he'll be particularly happy with the pace of this game as far as the Revs are concerned.
Well, that's what the lower division side wants to do, right?
Yeah.
Take the air out of it.
Yep.
Here's Okoli, though, running at the defense. Banged away by Jerome.
I think what you do as a Revs fan is you say, does this side mirror what the first team does? I'm not saying that this is a sort of an A+ team, an A- team, sorry. But they're not really getting the ball into Okoli enough for me. He's got to make more runs. He's got to be more active.
Good aggressive play there by Zahorsky. Now Martinez pulls his shot wide. But you have to say that Herrera knows how to pull the strings in the center of midfield. And Charlotte's had a couple of half chances and that one very good chance that you referenced when Zahorsky missed the header.
I must say the big question marks about Herrera, where he's playing in that, he's wearing number 10, he's sort of playing in the number 10 role. He asked the question earlier, will he work hard outside if he's not got the ball? I think he is working quite hard.
34 years of age, still has the legs and the desire. 3 goals, tied for first on the team USL competition this year, and 3 assists to lead the Independents. Working both sides of the ball here against the MLS team, the Revs. Charlotte right now giving the Revs all they want, but it's New England with possession here in the 43rd minute, looking for their first goal of the game. Fagundes now. We talk about Okoli. Some pretty good attacking options if Jay Heaps wants to make a change. Juan Agudelo, Bela Lee Wynn. You could also see Zach Haribo tonight. This is Okoli. Lost the ball. Noonan couldn't get it clear. New man for the Revs has it now. Alston. Smith. Coley keeps the Revs playing. It's an organized Charlotte defense here. Duckett under pressure. Spins and gets it clear.
Well, for one horrible moment for him, I thought he was in trouble, made the wrong decision, but he got out of it fantastically well.
Knighton, who's good with his feet. Of course, I say that, and he sends it into the fourth row.
It's better there than in the back of his net because Zahorski was closing him down very, very quickly. To be fair to Brad, he didn't have any options, so that was the best thing he could do.
And we're hearing there's not going to be any stoppage time at the end of this half, so we're in the final 30-plus seconds here, and it will be a throw-in to Charlotte. Some vintage Revolution jerseys there on the far sideline with those fans. Looks like a 2001 and a 2005 there. That cross comes to nothing, and his goal kick may indeed be the last kick of the half. Paul, in summary, you've already said it. You'd think that Mike Jeffries will be the happier of the two coaches, but what are your thoughts as the teams go into the interval?
Oh, I think that the Independents have surprised me the way that they've played technically. They've got the ball down. They've had a plan A and a plan B. They've tried to play through the Revolution. When that's not worked, then they've gone the long ball to the big guys. They're dangerous from set pieces. I just think, as I said earlier, I just think Jay Hughes will be a little bit upset at the way that the Revolution have played. I think he wants a higher tempo.
Yeah, and so the Revolution, who have fallen previously to lower division sides, will go in at 0-0. And let's throw it down now to Jesse Cofield, who's with midfielder Steve Newman.
What did you see out there in the first half?
I thought we started fine. Started moving the ball around pretty well. We just got to get more dangerous now. We got to up our tempo, get the ball speed moving a little bit quicker than we are. Know we can do it, but we got to amp it up a little bit.
What's the chemistry like within a lot of new faces out there?
I mean, we're playing with these guys every day in training, so we're familiar with it. So there's no real excuses for us not to be coming out and playing a little bit better.
Great, Steve. Good luck in the second half. Guys, back up to you.
Thank you, Jesse. All right, no score here in Boston, Mass, on the campus of Harvard University. We will step out for just a few moments, and we'll be back with the second half, so stay with us here on Revolution Soccer. Dorman was trying to run onto it. Oh, side volley, what a goal! Diego stinks it into the back of the net for his second goal of the year.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a pretty special installment of the Boot Room Breakdown. I'm Jeff Lemieux, here with Diego Fagundes to look at one of the best goals that we've ever had a chance to break down here in the Boot Room. It's Diego's vicious side volley in Saturday night's 2-0 win over the Chicago Fire. Diego, you've had a couple days to kind of let this goal settle a little bit. I know you've seen the replay a couple of times. You said not a ton of times, but looking back on it now, was this the best goal, or at least one of the better goals you've scored at any level in your career?
Yeah, it probably is one of the best goals. You can't compare it to a bicycle, so I've scored a couple of those, but definitely in my career, it's from being little to now, it's definitely top two, top three, for sure.
What was your thought process on the initial corner? Because as soon as Chris whips the ball in, you drop back to the top of the 18. It almost looked like you were anticipating kind of a half clearance like that.
Right before that play, I was going to do the near post run, but then Dorman decided to take that near post, so I said, okay, I'm going to drop and see what happens. And once that ball came up in the air, I said, this is going straight in the goal. Just didn't hesitate, just went for straight volley on it. And once it came off my foot, I felt good on it, and once it went in behind the net, it was just amazing.
And when the ball is hanging in the air as long as it is, and you have time to kind of think about it and line it up, do you think about the technique of it at all, or about putting it on target, or are you just kind of letting the instincts take over at that point?
I just let the instincts let me just hit that goal and see what happens. But one thing I did notice is when the guy, I don't know who it was, he was coming with his foot up high, so I was looking at that and at the ball at the same time to see if I was going to be able to shoot it or not.
Yeah, I mean, did that So I was going to say, were you weren't locked in, so locked in that you didn't see the defender coming in. You knew that there was somebody there trying to close you down.
Yeah, I knew he was there the whole time because I kept looking at him in the ball, and then once the ball got closer, I just went for it.
Now, I know you said when you scored this goal, you weren't aware that you had done it on your 100th appearance. You didn't know until just now that you were the youngest player in MLS history to reach 100 appearances. But did you realize right here as you're celebrating this goal that you had scored at least a pretty special goal?
Yeah, I did. It felt great. It's like I've been telling people, it's like been a roller coaster these couple of years. It's been up and down, and just didn't feel like something was going my way, and then suddenly something this nice comes into the picture, and it just feels like now I can start moving forward more and more, and hopefully better things come.
Well, Diego, thanks so much for stopping by to break this down. Thanks so much for scoring the goal, because it's been fun to watch it. So maybe we'll get a few more like that, and we'll get you back in the boot room.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again soon here on the Boot Room Breakdown.
Corkscrewed, it's off of Davies and in. What about that? The Revs double their advantage.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of the Boot Room Breakdown. I'm Jeff Lemieux, joined once again by a familiar face, Mr. Charlie Davies, who scored his team-leading 6th goal of the season in Saturday night's 2-0 win over the Chicago Fire. Now, Charlie, I know this goal ended up being overshadowed a little bit by Diego's volley, but this is a difficult piece of skill on the header. So just take me through kind of the this whole sequence, starting with the build-up, because this was a nice piece of interplay as well.
Yeah, Lee played in a great ball to Diego, who chested it down to Teal, and Teal put in a Schross, and it was I just had to redirect it. A ball like that's hit with good pace, you just have to make good contact with it, and see it go hit the back of the net is always nice.
And I know you're close with Teal. Have you had the conversation about whether he's trying to find you with the cross there?
I think he's trying to find me. I think he saw where I was, and he just tried to play a ball as hard as he could because he knew I could handle it. So he was just testing me and challenging me.
And did it test you and challenge you? Because you ended up, it was a decent little redirection.
I actually told him after, I said, I think you could have hit it harder.
Now, when you have a teammate lining up like that, now say he was shooting, hypothetically, if he had been shooting, as a forward, is that kind of the situation where you always have to prepare for all the what ifs? What if he mishits it and it comes straight at me very, very hard? What am I going to do?
Yeah, I mean, if he was shooting, which I don't think he was, you have to be ready for rebounds. You got to be ready for deflections and, the occasional mishit, and be ready to pounce on anything that comes your way in the box.
Now, he chose to celebrate this goal with the fans in the fort. There was a little bit of a hiccup at the end. So first of all, what kind of inspired you to jump into the fort, and then take me through kind of what happened after?
I just, I've always wanted to celebrate with the fans in the fort. I feel like they're great supporters, and I wanted to get in there and show some appreciation. And unfortunately, the net got me on the way out of celebrating with the fort. So that was a little miscue, but I can always work on that.
Is there when you start to go down a little bit of a moment of panic? There has to be kind of a moment there where like, oh man, I'm going down right now.
Yeah, I knew I was going down. At first I was like, oh man, like, no, this can't be happening right now. But you just gotta smile it off and just, I guess, enjoy the moment and know that you're taking an extra couple of seconds to get the guys some rest.
Well, Charlie, thanks so much for stopping by. I guess I'll just say a little more caution moving forward, I guess,
Yeah.
Safety first. Safety first, then teamwork.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. You be careful, too. We'll see you again soon here on the Boot Room Breakdown.
No score here at Soldiers Field Soccer Complex on the campus of Harvard University in Boston, Mass. Between the New England Revolution and Charlotte Independence, the Revs of Major League Soccer, Charlotte Independence of United Soccer Leagues. So glad you could join us for our coverage here on revolutionsoccer.net, YouTube, or wherever you're watching. No goals in that first half, Paul Mariner, but a couple of chances. Let's take a look.
Yeah, a couple of little half chances, to be honest. Nothing too clear cut. The ball coming in here, and Brad Knight coming to collect it very, very simply for him. I thought Rowe and Hall did very, very well. That was just the occasion where Akoli was just marginally offside. This is a beautiful piece of skill for Kellen Rowe. He just tried the reverse. That would have been a sensational goal. Everybody really appreciated that. Here's Martinez, but worked very, very hard. That was the first time that Brad Knight was tested. Let's put it this way, Brad. The Independents have really got the ball down. As I've said just before the half, it was they had plan A and plan B. And to be honest, Zahorski should have done a little bit better with the header that he had. So
both teams had one good chance.
Yes, yeah, I think that's fair to say.
All right, let's look at the first half stats. Shots actually 3-2 in favor of the visitor Charlotte. Fouls an even 6-6, reasonably cleanly played first half. No yellow cards. The Reds with a 5-1 advantage in corner kicks. In the end, no goals. Let's take a look at some of the other games around the U.S. Open Cup tonight. A reminder to follow U.S. Soccer's coverage of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup on Twitter @Open Cup and on their website, ussoccer.com. Columbus now behind 2 Adam Bedell goals lead Richmond 3-1 in minute 71. Second half just underway in Pittsburgh, still 1-1 in that game. NYCFC still 1-0 up on the Cosmos, 1-0, and Charleston Battery and Orlando City FC tied 0-0 in the 45th minute. Just about set to kick off the Houston Dynamo and Austin Aztecs, and out west the LA Galaxy and PSA Elite at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. That should bring you up to date on the Open Cup. Diego Fagundes, he can wear whatever haircut he wants the way he's been scoring in league play lately.
No changes. It doesn't look any changes from Jay Heaps for the Revolution. We'll keep an eye on that. Just looking at Jay's body language, doesn't look particularly happy with life at the moment. Maybe give the boys a little bit of a reminder about what's going on.
And it was noteworthy, the Revs fans theme song going back to last year, Toto's Africa, Bless the Rains has been the hashtag. The Riders Rebellion and Company did a beautifully harmonized version. We could hear them better than we can at Gillette Stadium when it's playing over the loudspeakers and the PA there. And really some good voices here in New England, the Boston area.
Superb,
so credit to the supporters.
Superb entertainment for the commentator and co-commentator.
No
The
doubt
harmonies
about
were
it.
fantastic. By the way, I must say that the sky tonight is sensational.
Yeah, it was a
Wow.
sunset. I actually, if you could hear me stammering a little bit, I just tweeted out a picture of the sunset. It's really remarkable. Jay Heaps doesn't care at all about the backdrop, but it's a treat for us.
Well,
He might if he were in our position.
we like the aesthetics of the game, don't we, Brad?
And if Jay Heaps was out of the hot seat and upstairs here, he might think so as well. But it'll be Charlotte and White kicking off from left to right. The goalkeeper at the other end, Hunter Gilstrap, did something to draw the ire of the fans of the fort. But Jorge Herrera is over the ball with Tomasz Zahorski, and Herrera in particular has been a dangerous-looking player for Mike Jeffrey's Independent side. Ball goes back off the kickoff to Andrew Ribeiro. Bilal Duckett, the former Rev, Back the other way by Donnie Smith. Noonan is the right fullback. Smith lofts it. Okoli jostling there with Duckett, who did well enough to win the ball for Charlotte. Now Patrick Slogic, early ball out of the back, knocked down by Kevin Alston. Rudy with the touch, and he's probably fortunate to get that back, but he does well to scoop it into space for Alston. Kevin Alston waits it for Okoli.
I'll say, Brad, that previous attack there from the Independents, Kevin also was a fantastic covering position there.
This is Herrera. Zahorski went over from behind. Woodbury committing the foul. This is Duckett off of the free kick. Scanning for a passing option, goes wide. Noonan. Alvarez couldn't get free. 2 revs there, but it'll be the first corner kick of the second half and the second of the game for the visitors, the Charlotte Independents. No score yet.
This is where the Independents may have a little bit of joy, Brad. They've got some height in this attack.
Herrera to take. Herrera, in addition to his experience in Colombia, played in Argentina. To the back post it goes. Slogic with the header. He has 2 goals in the league. Another crack at it. Oh, overhead attempt. And it was a high boot there. Free kick to New England.
Rivera with the chance. That was very, very brave defending there. Excellent work.
Hall up to meet that. Back the other way by Del Piccolo. This is Rudy. Kellen Rowe. Hemmed in. Keeps going. Had the ball pried loose in the end. Martinez. Hall defending. Duckett for Noonan. Mitchak Jerome quickly for Slogic. Another one of those big switches. Noonan will give and go there. Alvarez. Herrera. Now Alvarez trying to lob the keeper. Over for a goal kick.
Well, again, it was very, very patient build-up. Ball down the left, ball down the right, switched it back again. And then it was Alvarez that got it open in this inside right channel. He just tried to whip it into the far post, but just didn't connect correctly.
We're under a crimson sky here in the shadows of historic Harvard Stadium. And 0-0 game, but it's been an entertaining one. It's the visitors, the lower league side on the attack. Herrera with the tidy move there. Early shot saved by Brad Knighton, but there's some quality in Jorge Herrera. As I was saying, he played in Hurricane in Argentina, some of the big clubs in Colombia, and he's been with Charlotte going back to the Eagles days in 2007. Heavy touch there by Alvarez. The Revs win it in a good spot. This is Fagundes to the feet of Okoli. Poor layoff. Diego trying to win it back. Charlotte goes back the other way. Alex Martinez.
Been very lively tonight, Martinez.
Del
Very lively.
Yep, continues his run here. Rudy tracking back. Martinez frees himself, gets across to the near post, covered by Brad Knight. Be
interested to hear what Jay Heap said. He there's not been much of a reaction in the second half. I know we're only 5 minutes into the second half, but I was looking for the Revolution to come out with a bit of fire in the belly, but it doesn't seem as though they've done that.
Last time we were here at Harvard, it was a 6-goal thriller. You can't say that the lower league visitors are just bunkering in. As you see here, they're trying to play a little bit as they move down the left side. Martinez against Hall. Martinez wanted a foul, didn't get the call. Hall. Gave it away. Noonan. The feet of Herrera. The quick feet of Herrera. Overhit pass by Ribeiro, but it falls for Zahorski. Now Alvarez. Good tracking back there. It was Tyler Rudy. Kobayashi for Rowe. Heavy touch, and Slogic steps in and stabs it forward. Hall back to Knighton now. As the Revs are having to work a little bit here to just try to play out of their own defensive half, Paul.
Independents are pressing high, pressing the Revolution defenders high when they're in possession. They're trying to build from the back, but it's not easy for them. Got a white shirt in their face constantly.
So you got to stretch it then, right? Skip the midfield.
You have, but what you've got to do, that's, I don't want to be hypercritical of Macaulay, but he's got to get himself open.
Alvarez comfortable on the ball. Now Martinez. Ribeiro. Del Piccolo has it taken off of him. But the whistle goes in favor of the Independents. Free kick to Charlotte.
Yeah, referee again, letting the play develop. De Piccolo was fouled. Just let it go a little bit. There's the foul. There's the initial foul. Then Herrera was clattered into by Donny Smith. So take your pick.
The Haiti international Michak Jerome will take this. Sprays it wide. Martinez against Rowe. Herrera on the turn. Good positional defending by Woodbury. Rowe had guys flying in on him. Kellen's played a very composed game so far for the Revs.
He has. I thought Hall and Rowe were pretty good in the first half. Not quite got into that rhythm just yet. Jeremy Hall having to cope with Martinez as well. It's never easy.
Kevin Alston skips around Noonan. Revs next home game after this against Vancouver Whitecaps FC. A week from this Saturday night, the 27th of June, call 1-877-GET-REVS for tickets. This is Kobayashi for Rowe. Newman as the Revs try to get their passing rhythm going. Hall out wide. Better movement from the Revs, but again, good spacing from Charlotte Independents. Now an opportunity for Hall to get across, and it bounces in, cut out by Jerome, over for New England corner.
Well, the brightest player from the Revs in this second half. Jerome, I must say, very, very strong player, very athletic, positionally excellent there.
Corner taken quickly and short by the Revs. Delivery from Smith. Slogic gets ahead to it. Now Alvarez gets it down. Martinez continues his run. Alvarez on the turn. Herrera. Back to Martinez. Player down in the box. It's Kevin Alston. Long range shot and a world-class goal from Jorge Herrera to beat Brad Knighton and give the Charlotte Independents the lead. The traveling supporters to our right, Jack's Militia, go absolutely crazy. And why not? What a great strike from the attacking midfielder for this team.
Well, look at the first touch, down his chest. He has a look at his options. I don't think many goalkeepers in the world could save that. That was an absolute top shelf screamer of a volley.
Jorge Herrera, who is really one of the faces of the sport in a part of the country where a lot of good Americans are developed. He's been with Charlotte since 2007 when they were the Eagles. And the assist goes to Alex Martinez, but full credit there to Jorge Herrera, the first player signed. At 34, still has a lot of spark. So the Revs now down a goal. Good hold up there by Zahorsky. Alvarez, Del Piccolo runs onto it. Ball in, away by Smith. Rudy under pressure. Ricochets around. The Revs haven't cleared. And then the shot from Alvarez corkscrews wide. But the Revs right now looking to use an English expression that a lot of Americans don't like, at 6s and 7s.
Well, they're under the cosh. They're reeling a little bit. There's been no response. I thought they would come out in the second half, be a little bit more spring in the step. They're going to have to spring in the step now if they're going to get back in this game.
Steve Newman. Oh, that's a good ball for Rowe. Squared. Well defended by Duckett. Coley was steaming down that central channel, but Rowe couldn't quite get it to him. Credit to Bilal Duckett.
It's a fantastic ball. Fantastic ball through for Kellen Rowe. Kellen just tried to square it across the face of the 6-yard box, but in the end, Duckett, as you said, Brad, what a fantastic save, challenge that was.
Well, we talked at the top of the show about the magic of knockout cup soccer, and you don't want to be on the wrong end of that magic if you're the higher division team. Revs with over a half hour to work with here.
It's always the same with these games, one-offs. You've always got a chance in a one-off game.
Martinez against Hall. It's developed into a good battle. Martinez cuts it back for Del Piccolo. Slogic's delivery. Zahorsky, not a clean take, but the Revs haven't cleared yet. Noonan lets it bounce. His shot, well, he didn't let it drop quite enough. But again, Charlotte looking to attack even with the lead.
Charlotte are on the front foot. They're not taking the foot off the gas at all. The game plan is exactly the way that Mike Jeffries set it up. Still getting the ball down, still passing, carrying more of a goal threat than the Revs.
Alvarez wins the header. Alston, it's a tester there for Knighton, who has to just play it over the sideline.
Although it's Herrera working very, very hard there for his team, putting Brad Knighton under pressure.
Herrera, diminutive in stature, but long on skill. And tonight, certainly long on effort as well.
Exactly, his work rates were terrific.
Alvarez. Fagundes. Bullet pass for Newman, who couldn't quite control it. Duckett slides it forward. Cut out by Kobayashi. Daigo. Alston.
There's a problem again, Brad. Kevin Olsen on the left-hand side. He's looking to play the ball into Okoli. Okoli not in the passing lane. I'm just looking at the options that the Revolution players have. Maybe it's one, maximum two, which is not good enough.
The Revs trail by a goal. Jorge Herrera, minute 55. Off of the assist from Alex Martinez. The difference between the teams right now. New England looking to attack. Alston. Good centering pass from Rowe. Diving header by Jerome. Pumped forward by Del Piccolo. But that does the job for Charlotte.
Oh, they're dropping in numbers, Brad. Herrera's dropping in. We were wondering what sort of a work ethic he had. We've seen it now. Is they defend with the leave Sahorsky up front, and then they defend with the rest of the players behind the ball.
Revs start from square one again. Busy stretch for the Revs. This is the second match in a 5 games and 15 nights spell for the New England team. Started with the Chicago match on Saturday, then Sunday back to league action against DC United on national television, ESPN2 at 5 p.m., also on the Revolution Radio Network. Then the Revs are at Columbus on Wednesday as Okoli now can't connect. Still loose in the area. That whistle goes against the Revs. The Fort doesn't like it.
Much better from Okoli. He brought the ball down on the right-hand side, was very, very strong. Wanted to hold the ball up for his team. As he gets in the box, he just mistimed his header. And I think it was Duckett that was trying to clear it. The referee decided that was a foul for the Independents. A little bit of a surprise to me. Didn't look too much in it.
Just to finish the stretch of upcoming matches for the Revs. After this, DC Sunday at 5. Columbus Wednesday 7:30. That's on Comcast Sportsnet New England and MLS Live. And then back home on the 27th against Vancouver. That's a week from Saturday.
Tough games, Brad.
Here's Okoli getting in the channel against Duckett. Still going. Goes down now. Newman keeps his balance beautifully. He goes down. Shout for a penalty from the Fort. Referee was in good position. Didn't make a call. Kobayashi did well to get it to Woodbury. Revs now trying to force the issue. Wide for Fagundes. Great work here by Diego against Slogic. Slides it inside. Here's Rowe driving it. And a good save there by Gilstrap. The attack is not over yet. Back to Kobayashi. Gilstrap, former Miami FC, Pittsburgh and Cleveland City goalkeeper. That was an important save there. Fagundes couldn't get it through, but the Revs retained possession. And now it's New England on the front foot. Rowe with the cross. It's a good one. Okoli couldn't connect cleanly. And it's over for a goal kick.
Wow, this is the best period of play for the Revolution. Kellen Rowe, Diego Fagundes at the heart of it all. And the ball coming in there. It was a beautifully floated ball right to the back stick. Here it is. Nice little flick there from Jeremy Holt. Kellen Rowe, little chip to the far post. Okoli, to be fair to him, it looked as though he tried to put a little bit too much on him. He was chasing the ball. It was a difficult chance for him. Maybe just get a contact on the ball would have been ideal, but
well, this is his last opportunity to try to get a goal in this game, as he will be replaced by Juan Agudelo.
this is the beauty
So Juan's on, 4 goals in the league for the Revs.
This is the beauty about football. Last week he was in Germany, played for the national team against the world champions, and now here he is in the...
Well, you were an England international, and you also played against a lot of lower division sides, and also 4 lower division sides in the FA Cup. So you've seen this scenario before. Whistle goes against Herrera. What's it like when you play in an international and then days later? Now they play on an artificial pitch. In the old days, you'd be on a bumpy field, muddy field, maybe even rocks and glass.
Yeah, it's just a game of football. Just got to give you your all every single time that you play.
Kobayashi splits the defense for Rowe. Off his line, Gilstrap. Fans again in a huff, and Kellen Rowe wanted a call too.
Well, what happened there? Jerome was leaning into Kellen Rowe. The ball's played through. Gilstrap just a little bit late coming off. Just the merest of touches we've seen him given. The referee was in a fantastic position, by the way, decided against giving a penalty to the Revolution. But Kellen Rowe much brighter. Last 5 minutes Diego Fagundes much brighter.
Agudelo now. Rowe. Rowe really pressing. Revs looking for the equalizer.
Well, this is a different issues now. Agudelo going right through the middle, playing centre forward up against Duckett and Jerome. Already he's threatened the back of them, so he's already making them think a little bit more than the call they made them think.
Del Piccolo. Woodbury over to cover. Oh, but a missed kick. Herrera now trying to spring a quick counter with the cross there, but Revs get away with that. And now have some space to attack. Kobayashi. Beautiful ball for Diego Fagundes in the corner. Diego against Slogic. Rolls it for Hall. Fagundes. Rowe on the same side as him. Diego. Kellen. Oh, looked like a handball, little heel flick attempt there by Fagundes, didn't come off. Now Martinez. Clattered by Rowe, free kick Charlotte.
Revolution have upped the tempo, Brad. Last 5 minutes, Kellen Rowe, Fagundes, Agudelo involved. It looks as though there's been a tactical change. Newman for the Revolution come out on the left-hand side. It looks as though Kellen Rowe at the present moment is on the right. It looks as though Diego Fagundes has just gone underneath Agudelo. Playing off the front man.
Martinez down. I think the referee is telling me he has to leave the field. Maybe an equipment issue.
Maybe blood.
Yep.
Pointing on his knee, maybe he's bleeding.
Again, the Revs 10-3-4 and 17 previous Open Cup matches against lower division teams. One loss that comes to mind was that wacky game against Harrisburg in 2012 where there were 6 goals in extra time and a plague of mayflies. Smoke bombs, thunderstorms.
It's a fairly quiet night then.
Yep. We thought they might start taking our firstborn.
I got 6 goals in extra time.
Oh, good ball in there for Agudelo. Earns the Revs a corner kick. It was Kellen Rowe with the angled ball. Yeah, that was a crazy night. We'll get back to that after the set piece. Taken quickly by the Revs. Smith. Wide again. Fagundes. Cross to the near post. Zahorski's header away. Taken down by Tyler Rudy for New England. Rudy driving against Ribeiro, who fouls him. The holding mid for Charlotte thought he'd won the ball cleanly. The referee disagreed.
Charlotte Independence players off the bench. They don't agree with the referee also.
Mike Jeffries still giving it to Mark Kedlesic, about 20 yards away, but it won't change the call. Smith and Newman over the ball.
Let's see if he gets the foam out. No foam.
Newman curls it in. Oh, I'll tell you what, Zahorski trying to cut that out, put his goal pressure under goaltender under real pressure. Goalkeeper?
Goalkeeper. What a save.
I can't hear myself.
By the way, that was a great save.
That was a great save.
That was going right in the top corner.
To the near post it goes, still loose. Alvarez gets a touch away, and it's nodded out to midfield by Herrera.
Independence under massive pressure here.
Diego Fagundes. That's not the pass he wanted to make. Del Piccolo. Good jump there by Jeremy Hall. Is on the overlap now. Early ball from Fagundes. Knocked down by Woodbury. Alston's there. Athletic play by Jerome to clear. Now Charlotte will get it down. Herrera gets it to Alvarez somehow. Now Zahorski in space, has sight of goal, goes back post for Herrera. He might have done better to shoot.
I think the option was the right option, Brad, but he put too much juice on it. It was I mean, the idea was right, but the weight of pass was very, very poor. There's no way that Herrera could get on the end of that.
1-0 Charlotte. They've led since minute 55. You see Jay Heaps talking to Scotty Caldwell, talking about a guy who might be able to change the tempo of the game.
Oh, totally, absolutely. Scotty's playing his best football of his life for me. I just wonder whether that 70 minutes is about the red zone for Kobayashi. They don't want to push him too much. We'll have to wait and see who comes off.
Donnie Smith lost his concentration momentarily, but did get it to Alston. This Kobayashi surrounded. Noonan tracking back. Noonan previously with the Charlotte Eagles and also played at Wake Forest. Alvarez. Noonan. Herrera. Smith with the clearance. And it's also time for Ryan Finley to come on. So it will be Rudy replaced by Caldwell. Kobayashi stays out there. Jay Heaps not happy with what's going on right now. But you can't fault Tyler Rudy's effort. Put himself about. Won a lot of 50-50s, especially in the first half, Paul. But this is a dangerous guy, Ryan Finley, in terms of the attack for Charlotte. He replaces Zahorsky, and they're usually not on at the same time. The two center forwards. Finley, former Columbus Crew and Chivas USA forward, 3 goals on the season so far in the league for Charlotte. And as I said earlier, 1 for Charlotte in the U.S. Open Cup.
Entering the match for New England is number 6, Scott Caldwell. Entering the match for Charlotte, number 9, Ryan Finley. Leading the match for New England, number 29, Tyler Rudy.
Agadello
Charlotte, number 20, Tomasz Zahorsky.
couldn't quite get it to Fagundes, and then the foul committed by Juan.
Well, Finley going straight through the middle for Independence. He's a totally different kettle of fish than Zahorsky. He's a smaller player, very, very quick.
Duckett with another of those good-looking long balls on the switch. Now Martinez didn't make clean contact with his crossing attempt.
I must admit, Martinez, Alvarez, Herrera have been very, very bright this evening for Charlotte Independence. The team is working very, very hard.
This is Scotty Caldwell, 2 goals, 4 assists in the league. Woodbury. Hall for Kellen Rowe. Kobayashi. Agudelo gets a turn on Jerome. Fagundes. The refs trying to impose a little bit of arrogance on the proceedings.
Well, they've upped the tempo, some personnel changes. Caldwell coming in, just he's gone into his familiar holding role in front of the back 4. But I like the way that Rowe and Fagundes are just interchanging position. Agudelo through the middle is a totally different kettle of fish than Ricoli through the middle.
This is Agudelo. A lot of white shirts around him. Rowe cuts it for Diego. He takes a shot and launches it into the fort.
Well, it was a pity because the New England Revolution had numbers in the box. Kevin Olsen bombing in there. Daigo Kobayashi bombing in the box. So the numbers were in there. Diego decided to have the shot. Maybe it was better if he just dinked it to the far post.
Caldwell. Slogic for Charlotte. Giveaway. Hall made the interception. Fagundes now. Steve Newman lets it run. Kevin Alston. Newman sees Kobayashi. Now Diego. Alston, give and go with Newman. Good touch. He's in. He shoots. It's blocked. Now Diego takes over. For goodness, long touch. That shot's blocked. Newman lofts across to the far post. Rowe gets it down. Hall cuts it. Rowe still going. Not cleared. Hall. He screws a shot into the crowd. The Revs don't have their shooting boots on right now.
That was unfortunate. Jeremy Hall having a nice game tonight, but the ball just pops out to him on the edge of the box. He tried to generate too much power, Jeremy. A little wry smile from him, and he smashes it into the fort. Revs are knocking on the door though, Brad.
Again, Steve Newman had a goal against Richmond in Open Cup competition. Has yet to score in MLS. This is Agudelo trying to split two defenders. Duckett dropped in to pick it up. Jerome hooks it away. Alston off of Finley. Caldwell's header over the touchline. Minute 77, 1-0. Charlotte Independence. Brad Feldman, Paul Mariner, Jesse Cofield with you from Harvard University. Caldwell couldn't find a teammate after he intercepted it. This is Ribeiro. Jerome curls it forward. Martinez offside.
Ribeiro, number 6, is in the holding role for Charlotte Independence. Been very effective tonight, Brad. I know we haven't called his name too often, but he's just been playing in front of that back four. Very, very effective. Piccolo has been a good deputy for him, but Ribeiro has been very, very good in front of that back four.
Caldwell beat Finley to it. Now Hall gets it to Scotty. Curling ball for Alston. He didn't calibrate his cross correctly.
Well, the Revs are certainly bombing players forward, as they have to. We're going into the last 12 minutes of the game now in regulation time, so they are pushing. There's no two ways about that. Fullbacks are bombing on. Numbers in the box.
Charlotte getting set to make another change. Raphael Cox getting set to enter the game for the Independents. Cox, well-traveled veteran midfielder. But the sub will not come on during this break and play. It's the Revs taking over. Rowe for Alston for Newman. Caldwell. Jeremy Hall back to Caldwell. Rowe making the run. Revs looking for a way through here. Keeping possession. Diego for Newman on the left side. Agudelo showing for it. Oh, giveaway there by Steve. Finley now. Woodbury gets back goal side, but Finley keeps possession for Charlotte, who have the lead and are content to keep the ball here. Caldwell coming over to try to peel it off of Slogic. And that will be the end of the night for Alex Martinez, who you said several times, Paul, you were impressed with the work of here tonight.
I most certainly was. Martinez and Alvarez, who played on the right and left-hand side of this system, played very well. Both sides of the ball, worked up and down, worked his socks off. Very creative player.
Cox, 28 years of age. Is at Harrisburg, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Also Tacoma, all in the lower divisions. Also had 6 games for Real Salt Lake, 2009. I don't believe he got MLS Cup winner's ring for that, but he did win a championship in the NASL with Tampa Bay in 2012. Now Herrera making a real nuisance of himself. Fouled Caldwell. Revs with 10 minutes plus stoppage time to try to get an equalizing goal here. Agudelo with the flick on. Jerome looking for Finley. Smith headed it wide on the bounce. Weak purchase on that.
Well, Independence will take the time over these throw-ins and free kick set pieces.
Good closing down by Alvarez, and the Revs stay pinned in their own defensive zone. And the referee moves the throw-in back 10 yards. Noonan with the header. Nice to get a visit from former U.S. Open Cup champions Kenny Smith, Cano Smith, and Shalry Joseph outside our booth at halftime. Those guys both part of the squad that won this competition with you, as it's pumped long but kept in play by the goalkeeper. Can you summarize your conversation with those two old boys for the Revs?
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about what the next steps are for Shalry Joseph and what the next steps are for Cameron Smith.
Smith just got a job with
Yes.
Southern New Hampshire University.
Yes, he did.
Division
And,
II
he's going to be
soccer
taking his
powerhouse.
going to be taking his masters as well while he's up there. Shalry's looking for his next step. I think he's looking to get into coaching. What
He
a
dropped
player.
a couple LBs too.
He looked as fit as a flea, by the way. He was the one player, Brad, in central midfield. He could run the midfield on his own. What a player Shalry was.
Yeah, a giant. Smith for Woodbury. Revs need to hurry up here. Caldwell, Newman. Agudelo working hard. The ball goes out to the right now. This is Rowe. Again, Juan showing for it, making a run parallel to the top of the box. Scotty Caldwell wide for Alston. Right-footed delivery, Slogic, not a clean clearance. Caldwell couldn't quite get it to Newman. Now Fagundes, Agudelo, Cox intercepts. Finley goes down. He gets tangled up there with Woodbury. That's exactly what Mike Jeffries wants to see from his forward right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's excellent play by Finley there. The ball comes in, just holding it up. Not such smart play by Woodbury. He's just a little bit anxious trying to get the ball off Finley. Just on a tactical note, Cox has come straight on and gone on the left-hand side to replace Martinez, so no tactical changes for Independence.
They're going to give a corner there as Donnie Smith got nudged by Finley, came off of his knees, and unless the referee's going to call a foul there, that's the right call.
Well, the referee Mr.
tells
Heaps,
the story.
Needless to say, Mr. Heaps doesn't agree with the referee.
Well,
He's going crazy.
the referee could have called a foul there, as we implied, but
Gotta
instead
get on
it's
with
a
it,
corner
though.
kick.
Get on with it.
Oh, good ball in. The Revs probably fortunate there. Knighton stayed rooted to his line. Slogic was the target.
Well, I'm surprised that none of the Independence players claimed a penalty, though.
Well, Slogic did go palms to the sky in the referee as he ran by him, but there wasn't a big hue and cry, as you say, Paul.
for the rest of the boys. At this stage of the game, to go get a penalty and possibly go 2 up, that maybe put the...
And that, you might say, was maybe the outcome of the upshot of Jay Heap's protest.
Well, you never know. Coaches do have influence on officials.
And then that call goes against the Revs, and Jay Heap's again unhappy with the officials. Charlotte taking their time restarting the game here.
I spoke to Jay before the game. He was in a wonderful mood. He was very, very jolly. We were
Are you
laughing
going to
at
speak
Joe.
to him after the game?
Not tonight. If it stays like this, no.
I didn't think so. So we hit the 85-minute mark. 1-0. It's been this way since the 55th minute. Jorge Herrera, the goal scorer for the Charlotte Independents. And what a goal it was. Volley, fairly long distance that rose up above the height of the crossbar and dipped in the far side panel. Really a highlight reel goal.
Absolutely. If you get a chance to see it later on, absolutely spectacular goal.
Revs with possession here. Fagundes for Newman. Diego surging on the dribble. Kobayashi, Alston. Kevin looking for an opening, defended by two players. Gets across to the near post. Away there. Duckett with the clearance.
Duckett and Jerome have been very, very strong in that center of that defense tonight.
Long throw by Alston. Newman running onto it. Partially blocked. It's going to be a Revolution throw-in. Charlotte thought came off of Newman. And another sub made by Mike Jeffries. Jack Thompson set to come on. And he will replace Carlos Alvarez. Thompson out of Division III college powerhouse Messiah in Central Pennsylvania. And the Revs are going to get Zach Haribo on Academy product. Just signed by the first team on May the 2nd. He'll replace Kobayashi. Haribo was set to go to Providence College, but elected to go pro. He's got in action with the first team in preseason games in Arizona. Another long throw by Alston. Thompson's header, Herrera finds Finley. Woodbury comes in. Haribo. Clean passing by the first-year pro.
Your attention, please. Substitutions for the Revolution in the 87th minute. Entering the
Caldwell.
21, Zachary Haribo.
Newman.
16,
Fagundes, the Revs stringing the passes together as I say that the curse of the commentator strikes yet again.
Brilliant hold-up play by Finley. He was the only outlet. His hold-up play was absolutely spectacular. Down on the chest, he's in the inside left channel now.
Driving forward again. And that's just the kind of player who wants to make a big point here. A guy who spent several years in MLS, still in his prime, now finds himself in the USL, but is still striving to get back to MLS level and to help his team advance here. Alston's early ball for Agadello. His header claimed well by the Charlotte keeper, Gilstrap, who's looked good tonight, Paul.
No, he has. It just cast my mind back to the save that he made. The ball, we had a fantastic view of it, Brad. It was going right into the top corner. He used his feet very quickly and tipped it over the top. Absolutely vital save.
Alston, now Newman. 89th minute here. Charlotte, to this point, doing a good job of managing their lead. They have been under intense pressure for the last 15 minutes. Long by Woodbury. Agadello goes up, wins the header. Run down by Slogic. Fagundes, clever idea, but Slogic did enough to get it back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Diego Fagundes playing more centrally now, just underneath Juan Agadello. I think it's been a good tactical move by Jay Hughes. The tempo has really increased since Diego went underneath that. Now the Revolution are leaving row. Agadello and Fagundes right up the field.
Herrera. 90th minute here. Likely either 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time. We'll keep an eye on that as Smith comes over. Gave it away. Thompson for Herrera. Thompson playing the corner flag. Revs peel it loose, but it'll be a free kick.
Well, you've got to say, this stage of proceedings, Brad, that's very, very good play by Charlotte Independents. Herrera at the centre of it, supported by Thompson. just come on as sub.
Yeah, you talk about the good tactical moves by Jay Heaps. Mike Jeffries, very experienced coach.
Referee having a very, very harsh word with Jay Heaps. Jay's got to be careful.
And we're seeing 1 minute of stoppage time.
That doesn't make sense to me. We've had 6 substitutions, haven't
No,
we?
I think it was a mistake. He's redoing it. It's going to be 4. Now, those are the things that happen at these small stadiums.
Wow.
And Mike Jeffries with a bemused smile on his face. He feels a little hard done to there, but he also knew that 1 minute would have been too good to be true. The refs trying to keep Charlotte locked in here. Caldwell pumps it forward, but over for another Independence throw-in. Herrera with a sportsman-like pat on the head. Herrera's played with good spirit as well as good skill and tactical nous. Flicked on there by Finley.
Look at him working hard, Herrera. The tremendous appetite for work. This is a wonderful example for this side. 2-on-2 at the back. Revs are taking risks, as they've got to take risks.
Offside flag is up. You know, it's one thing to beat an NPSL team, really a semi-pro 5th or 6th division level team, as Charlotte did in the second round, and then to beat a higher division team in their in-state rivals, Carolina Railhawks. But if they could come away with a win here, that would turn a lot of heads as Cox plays it forward. Finley gets barged.
That's clever play. Finley, since he's come on, we said he's a different player to Zahorsky, and he's very, very clever, just burning the clock down there, holding the ball up, drawing the foul again from Woodbury.
Cox. Hall dueling with him. About a minute and a half into 4 minutes of stoppage time. Good step there by Woodbury. Zach Haribo now. Rowe. Agadello. Haribo streaking forward. Juan over by the far sideline. Diego Fagundes. Agadello back to Diego. Diego trying to get some separation, but Del Piccolo steps in, wins it. Now Finley. Great touch. Not beautiful, but it's effective. He wanted a foul call there. There's about a minute and 30 seconds to here.
I thought London Woodbury's getting a little bit frustrated with Finley. Finley using his game intelligence just to get his body there. I do think it was a foul. I think the referee let Woodbury get away with that one.
Agadello holds it. Hall. Now Smith. Caldwell.
Herrera working his tail off, Brad. Working so hard for his side.
Rowe. His cross, a good one. Oh, it drops dangerously in the box. Shout for a penalty, not called. Now Charlotte is screaming for full time. Not there yet. Pumped wide for Alston. Del Piccolo's header. Herrera. And there's the whistle for full time. 30 seconds short, we believe, of the whistle of the 4 minutes. In any case, the game is over. And USL Pro side, Charlotte Independence, have upset the New England Revolution, who were dumped out of the U.S. Open Cup in the 4th round. You'd have to say, Paul, on the night, they were worthy winners.
Yeah, I thought they played very, very well. As man for man, they were better. I think team-wise they were better. They just had a little bit more. The Revolution really didn't start playing until the goal went in after 55 minutes. The Revolution then upped the tempo, but they didn't really break down this very resolute Charlotte Independent side. I thought Duckett and Jerome Ribeiro were absolutely fantastic at the heart of that defense.
Jay Heaps with some words after the game for the officiating crew. But in the end, it was a terrific goal by Jorge Herrera. That was the difference between these two teams, and Charlotte celebrates their small band of traveling supporters. Let's give credit to the home fans as well. Nearly 3,000 fans ramming into the soccer center here. And here's the goal, as good as a goal as you're going to see anywhere.
Well, I don't think you can criticise Brad Knighton. There's no way that any goalkeeper in the world is going to be saving that, I don't think. I thought it was just a sensational, absolute sensational strike. There was the opportunity that Okoli had. I just think maybe he could have just... He was reaching. I don't want to be overcritical of him, but if he could have just put his foot on it, I think he would have found the back of the net.
And there's a shout for the penalty as Newman went down.
I don't...
Well, 1-0 the final. Paul, final thoughts? You've seen this kind of upset in the past, both in this country and your native England.
Well, as we said in the keys to the game, if you come out with the wrong attitude, then you're going to get beaten. It's as simple as that. Jay Hughes, look, he was testing his depth. Kobayashi's coming back, wants to get back to fitness. Diego Fagundes, I thought, played very, very well. But they were just a little bit disjointed, and Charlotte Independence played very, very well. Collectively, they were better, and they just had the one or two individuals that showed that sign of brilliance. And Herrera, that was the guy that pulled it off for them tonight with an absolutely sensational volley.
So the Revolution now move on to play DC United in the battle between first and second place in the Eastern Conference. You can see that game on ESPN2 Sunday at 5 p.m. and you can hear the action on the Revolution Radio Network and 98.5 the Sports Hub in the Boston area. Then the Revs are on to play the Columbus Crew, another important Eastern Conference matchup this coming Wednesday, a week from tonight. That's on Comcast Sportsnet New England, 7:30 p.m. start. And then the Revs are back at home on Saturday the 27th against Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Call 1-877-GET-REVS or log on to revolutionsoccer.net for more information. Speaking of revolutionsoccer.net, our thanks to the Revolution Digital staff headed by Jason Dalrymple, to the Revolution Communications Department, also the Charlotte Independence Communications Department. Thanks for their help. Thanks to the Harvard University Athletic Department for their great production here tonight. Wonderful hosts as always at this great facility. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. For Paul Mariner and Jesse Cofield, I'm Brad Feldman as we wrap things up from Harvard. 1-0. The Revolution fall to Charlotte Independence. We'll talk to you next year when the Revs come back into this competition.